Is it true that you have a poster in your basement of you blocking one of his shots?
No way. No way, dude.
I have two of them.
You have two of them?
Yes. To remind everybody when they come in my house. Because everybody always trying to talk, oh, you've been drunk. To remind them, listen.
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome to another After Dark. Thanks to the comments, I found out that rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe has passed away. I was a huge Dikembe Mutombo fan, and actually, it was not just as a basketball fan, but as a person. Always been a big fan of his. And he's one of the rare people that, whether he was playing basketball or not, he was somebody who would just make me laugh. And it's sad to see that he died at the young age of 58 years old. Like, 58. That's not that old. It's crazy. I didn't know he had a brain cancer. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I had no idea that he had a brain cancer. I had no idea that he was sick. He doesn't show his face too often to the media. And I think that's probably why I had no idea he was sick. So I was thinking about the last time I actually saw him in an interview, because I figure there's probably a lot about Dikembe Mutombo that a lot of people don't know, like what he was, like who he was, what he stood for. So I pulled on a kind of long but old as well, long interview he did with Graham Bessinger, and it's a multi-part interview, but it shouldn't be too long. But I figured this would be the best send-off to such probably a misunderstood dude, because he did a lot for his country that a lot of people don't know or don't understand, and I think hearing it in his own words will probably help. So this is what we're gonna do today. First of all, rest in peace, sir. Thank you for all the great basketball. Thank you for all the laughs, man, and for having such a good sense of humor, because it wasn't that people were laughing at you. You were just funny. You know, I always felt that way. Like, you're always just funny. Anyways, thank you for all of that. The basketball, the non-basketball, and then this should give us an appreciation for the stuff that has nothing to do with humor or basketball, but something that basketball helped you accomplish for your people. So I'm going to link the original Graham Bessinger interview, the link in the description down below for everybody if you want to check it out. Yeah, let's do this.
The finger. How did it come about?
No.
I'm
sure this is the first time you've ever been asked.
I used to block the shot. Then I would shake my head, and after a while I felt like guys was not getting it. You know, they knew I got them, but...
what do you mean they weren't getting it?
You know, it was like maybe I was just celebrating it because I blocked the shot. And I felt like I need to come up with something. Maybe a finger wave thing that do not bring that things out here no more in the proper English.
Yeah, he's gonna embarrass him. He's gonna taunt him and embarrass him. So don't bring that weak crap in here anymore. We love the finger wag, man.
And then they would get it.
Did other players legitimately get upset when you would do that?
A lot. Coaches.
Why?
Owners. Because they felt that there was an embarrassment. Especially Rick Pitino. I remember Rick Pitino when he was in Boston. He used to call the league office every time I play against Boston because they didn't have a big man that can challenge me there on the block. Every time they send everybody else, I used to swap them up.
Wait, how did you know he would call the league office?
because I used to get all the complaint for the NBA every day.
And what would they say? Rick Pitino called?
They would fine me. I used to get fined $1,000 for waving my hand. I pay a lot of money, man. This finger wear, it cost me a lot of money to keep doing that.
Well, it also made you a lot of money.
It made me a lot of money. It went both ways.
Right. But eventually, when you first started doing it, it was fair game. It was legal, but eventually it was
Then there was a lot of
banned
complaint. The
right.
players would complain to the ref. The ref would come to me before the game and say, do you know, we talked to the league, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. And then I go and do it, get a technical foul. Then the ref would come to me and say, you know what, Dikembe, we don't want to kick you out of the game, but can you just face the fans while you're doing it? Then I realized that if I block the shot and the ball is still up there, I cannot look at the way on the fan and wave my finger and trying to keep my eye on the ball. So I realized that it really didn't bother me if I get another technical foul.
Well, right. I mean, you get a technical foul, you get fined, and the then NBA Commissioner David Stern even called you and asked you to stop doing it. Yet you still continue doing it.
And I did continue, but when I got a call from the commissioner, I think the compliance we have gone to another level.
Okay.
That I felt that I didn't have no other choice that start cooperating with what the commissioner said, and I start looking at the fans, or wait until the play's already dead and the ball is going to do a different way. Then I would look at the fans and say, okay, I got them. But it was fun. I had so much fun doing it.
Oh, man. I had no idea he was getting fined for that. I'm glad he did it, though.
So it was 6 years that you kept Michael Jordan from dunking on you. Then what did you say to him at the 97 All-Star game?
I remember this.
I just told him that it will take him forever for him to get one dunk. And
It was kind of a mistake, wasn't it?
and he felt challenged and he felt embarrassed. And Michael is a great guy with a funny character. As we were in New York, we were being introduced at the All-Star game, and I think I was the last player before him to be introduced. And when they say, from the Atlanta Hawks, Dikembe Mutombo, and Michael behind me, and he pulled my sweater down, my sweatsuit down. Then next thing I knew, I was trying to run in the middle of the court. My pants was down. I had to lift my pants out, try to put my pants back on.
That's a playground move.
And the following year later, he got one dunk. He was very happy about it.
Well, he got a big dunk on you,
No,
didn't
he
he?
didn't dunk on me. I never looked at that dunk really being dunk on. Because being dunk on is someone coming
Dunk on your
ahead
face.
of you, looking at your eye, and climb over you and pop one dunk on it. But Michael really didn't do it.
Yeah, he got
I
his
was
side.
looking at this way. I was checking my man. Next time I turned, Michael have gone, he have got the ball, and I was 1 second away, and I tried to go and try and save myself. That time I got dunked. And I've asked Mike, why don't you take off from wherever you're taking off and dunk on me, and we're coming my way. That's what you call dunking. But when somebody just sneak one behind you, you might give him a credit, but it's not going to be an A+, it might be a B.
I got to agree, because he did it so quickly that he kind of snuck up on Dikembe to dunk on him. But yeah, it wasn't that like full frontal kind of dunk like you saw Jordan do on so many other centers. I just thought it was funny because Jordan probably didn't have Dikembe on his radar anymore until Dikembe had to open his mouth and talk that trash during the All-Star game, which is hilarious footage. It's just hilarious. You see Jordan's eyes like, I haven't dunked on you? All right. You just know. You know what's happening. It's all he's going to obsess about is I got to dunk on Dikembe.
So it was a B dunk that
It
you
was
got.
a B dunk.
Okay.
It's not like a Vince Carter dunk or Sean Kemp dunk or some of the great like Michael Finley, some of those guys
Finley.
going very high and pop one on you, you say, okay, I try it, but that guy did dunk on me.
And don't you have, oh wait, and then after he dunks on you, doesn't he use your signature?
Yeah.
Yes, and he got fined for doing that because he was trying
He
to
got a
steal.
technical.
Yes, he was trying to steal my signature,
That's funny.
which was wrong.
Jordan dunks on Dikembe, does the finger wag, and then has to pay $1,000.
Is it true that you have a poster in your basement of you blocking one of his shots?
No way. No way, dude.
I have two of them.
You have two of them?
Yes, to remind everybody when they come in my house, because everybody always trying to talk, oh, you've been dunked on. To remind them, listen,
Yeah.
even the guy who said that he dunked on me once of his career, look, I did get him here.
Yeah.
I got him before he got me, so it's a reminder, and I also remind my kids.
That's hilarious. Can you imagine Jordan showing up at his house and he sees those posters? Oh, man.
You know, we were talking about your hospital, obviously, earlier, and you mentioned your mother's death had played a role in that. She apparently had a stroke, but was unable to make it to the hospital. Explain why.
There's no ambulance system until
Wow.
99, 2000, when I started installing ambulances in the capital city. There was never the ambulance system. So that can tell you just the work that our foundation have been doing. Our hospital got more than 5 ambulances, which serve the community and people outside the community. But there was no ambulance system in the capital city of more than 12 million people.
Wow.
And not only
In the capital city of more than 12 million people, not a single ambulance. Man.
that, what would have happened if somebody had tried to take her to the hospital at that time?
My dad tried, but by that time it was a curfew.
Curfew.
It was not. It was just a bad time. It was a curfew that time he passed away.
I believe Dikembe, his family was, they lived in the Congo, right? I didn't know about a curfew.
And my dad couldn't leave the house. He was asked to go back inside.
How much do you think her passing was result of not having the access to proper medical care?
It's still hard to my family. It's still very hard because we believe that she could have been saved. It was, she was just say, I'm hurt, I'm not feeling well. So I think if they could have taken her to Galema, which is 2 blocks away from the hotel where we're staying, which is another good hospital for rich people. It could have been 5 minutes away from my parents' home, and it could have been safe.
And that would have made all the difference in the world. How much incentive does that provide you with what you're doing with your hospital to avoid other people having to go through a similar situation?
Save many mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to save as many mothers as I can. And I will try my best to the day I'm no longer here. I don't want no other kids lose their mother from those same circumstances. That's why we have best trained doctors, better intensive care union, trying to put as many medical equipments, high technology in this hospital, bring all the best doctors from the United States and Europe to Congo to work with our team and to make them learn, to tell me what we need and what we don't need.
In taking it from concept to reality, what was the biggest challenge?
raising money.
Really?
It was a pain in the butt.
Uh-huh.
That's the reason why I ended up cutting a $23 million checks
23 million.
to build the hospital.
And what was the total cost?
Total cost was like about 30-some plus million. Then launching the operation for the first 3-4 years, the cost was maybe another $10 million.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Hospital Biamba Marie Mutombo. I got to assume that's his mother. Crazy. What a way to give back. Yeah, it's two things usually happen when somebody goes through a tragedy like this. One, they turn into a villain and they feel excused for terrible, terrible behavior. Two, they do something great like this, and this is awesome to see. I've never been able, obviously, I don't have 22 million. I've never been able to do something on this scale. But I do remember going through a hard time around 2017. And I owed a debt of gratitude to the behavioral health system for the first time in my life. I needed some help. And I never forgot it. And I remember I spent the next 3 years of my life just dedicated to giving back. So I worked in behavior health, did inpatient respite for a while, and did outpatient services for the mentally ill. And I just gave back as much as I possibly could during that time. But man, to build a whole hospital, props to you, Dikembe. Props to you.
So we raised about $40-some million plus.
Was it harder than you expected to raise the money?
I think it was hard because I think I made a mistake in the end. I was a professional basketball player making million dollars a year. And I felt at the beginning that maybe if I gave myself a couple millions and I announced to the world I'm building a hospital, the rest of the NBA players were just going to be walking at the door,
Right.
Yeah.
handling me checks. And I was wrong.
That sucks, man. That sucks. Because even like $500,000 from a handful of players, that would have done the job. They could have built a gigantic hospital. I mean, because he spent a total of $32 million, I think he said. And yeah, that's sad. I would have thought that a lot of people would have donated for him too.
During our visit to the Congo, Dikembe took us to a local orphanage in Kinshasa, which his foundation supports through gifts and through the services of his hospital.
Most of the kids who are here, every time they get sick, they get free treatment at our hospital.
Oh, they go to your hospital?
Yes.
Wow.
Pediatry, maternity, women's center, radiology, intensive care union. This is where we take care of our premature babies. Those babies have an 80% chance to don't make it if they have stayed where they are. You talk about giving life, gift of life.
Yeah.
This is it. For free.
And is that?
That's him.
Oh, wow.
Today he's 5 years old. Look at him.
Nice.
Very well. He's going to school. He's going very well.
And how big was he again when he got here?
900 grams.
So you could hold him and...
He was big as my hand.
Vous les connaissez?
He's calling me Daddy Mutombo.
Daddy Mutombo.
Yes, the man who saved me.
Oh, man.
That came from the poor area.
You see, it's so amazing. You think basketball would define somebody like this? No, man. This is his greatest achievement, I believe.
You have to duck going under every door, don't you?
I can't believe I built a hospital that I forgot to put the door that would be tall enough.
The CT scan...
That's the biggest one in the region, and the third one in Africa. This is our baby, and this machine is saving lives
Oh, CT
here
scanner?
today in the country.
What was the kind of immediate benefit you saw?
The doctor was able to know what is the diagnostic of the patient instead of just going and cut them and trying to figure out by the time they cut them.
Makes a big difference.
Make a big difference, very big.
There's the plane crash, and there's all these people really severely hurt.
The government brought everybody here. The president sent his own plane to go get people like him.
And not to the government hospital, to here.
Mutombo is the best. This is my laboratory. There's a lab technician. They do all of the tests.
So what's some of what goes on in here?
We do blood tests, blood transfusion. They test all the disease, you name it. Everything is done here. We get a lot of transfer patient. We have to come get the tests.
Okay.
Because they go to small clinic in the neighborhood and there's nothing. The doctor said, okay, go to the Mutombo hospital, get a test, get a result, and bring it to me.
It's kind of like, what's it called? Urgent care. Urgent care for us in the States. Only so much you can get done there. If you need something real done, you got to go to an actual hospital. And I guess Mutombo Hospital is the one out there in the Congo.
Which are my precious gift.
Oh, yeah. So that's the name. So, yeah, the hospital is named after his mother. Very, very, very fitting right there.
You know, as a sick baby, my mom could have left me in the hospital and walk away like other women have done. And she didn't. You know, we just contribute to the society. That's all life is about. That's how I look at life. I just want to make a difference.
Yeah, man, this is cool. Hope you guys are still with me, man. I know we can just sit around and talk about basketball all day, but I always knew there was a lot more to Dikembe than just basketball. And I didn't know about all this, to tell you the truth, so it's really cool. I didn't know he built a hospital. I knew about him giving back to the country to his home country. I didn't know it had anything to do with the medical field or anything like that. So I'm curious. We're gonna keep plowing through this, guys.
Coach Thompson had Bill Russell, the NBA Hall of Famer and obviously the legend, come and talk to you. You've really credited that with convincing yourself that you could play basketball. What was discussed?
I think Coach Thompson was making sure that I follow Patrick Ewing's footsteps. Want to become a successful, one of the most dominant center. And he had a vision. He knew my ability the way I was growing up with the game, that I have a chance to be one of the most powerful, dominant shot blockers in the NBA history.
Yeah, and he is.
And what Bill told me was something that made me to be Dikembe Mutombo.
What did he tell you?
He said, the only way you can walk away and being one of the great basketball ever played this game, if you can just do two things in your career, block shot and rebound. Don't worry about if you score 2 points or 4 points a game. And he said, if you do that, you will make a lot of money and you will go down in the history book. He said, I did it and I won 11 championships in 10 fingers. I said, the man who won 11 championships in 10 fingers and praying for God to give him one more finger to put his ring, why not me? So, and I went there, followed those advice, and I think it turned out very good. I ended up breaking almost all of the records of the NBA.
Yeah.
Your sophomore year of college is the first time you end up getting put into a game. Take me through that situation and what ended up ensuing.
Real quick, for anybody watching this who didn't actually watch Dikembe live, if you look up his stats, it's not going to make sense why he's such a legend. But if you watched the games back then, anybody who took the ball into the paint was in constant fear looking out for Dikembe, because Dikembe was blocking shots left and right. Think like Wemby now, how he has that gravity well to him, where if you drive towards him, you kind of turn around and get the hell out of there. Yeah, that was Dikembe. So that's why it was a big deal to say, like, hey, I dunked on Dikembe Mutombo. Like, it was a big deal because his job was to block shots. That was his main job, and he did it damn well.
Alonzo Money got in a foul trouble against St. John. Then I was asked to go to the game, and a few minutes, almost like 20 minutes later, and I broke the NCAA record, which was a 12-block shot again. And right away, the world went crazy. Everybody started wondering, who is this kid?
12-block shots.
Which high school did he go? Who was his coach in high school? Why nobody never spoke about him and all of that? Coach Thompson said that was my secret weapon.
How did your life change after that game?
After that game, I knew that I have a chance to becoming somebody. But it was not easy. It took a lot of hard work.
So you go from not having much money growing up and having to really work in college to support yourself and be able to pay for food, to becoming a multi-millionaire overnight.
And he didn't lose his way. What a genuine, awesome dude. A lot of people, if they go from being broke to all of a sudden instant riches, they blow all their money on crazy crap. And then, they end up on a death spiral, basically. But Dikembe, it seemed like he was always humble.
You
signed with the Denver Nuggets. What do you recall from signing that first NBA contract?
First, I couldn't believe it. I cried. I hugged my lawyers. I thanked him. I was about to kiss him. Thought he was my wife. It was one of the most joyful days of my life. A kid from Congo who come from the father that made only $37 a month.
Wow.
And one day wake up 4 years later, becoming a multimillionaire.
I want to replay that so it hits everybody right. He said this dollar amount per month. Okay, so I know times are hard right now in the States, and we think that there's no hope. Can you imagine this life? And they still kept their head up and they still kept fighting. So we can't stop. We can't stop here just because we're on some hard times. There's a lot of people in this world, not just in this country. And a lot of people are struggling way worse than us. And just listen close here, because this is real stuff.
$37 a month.
$37 a month. Okay? Some people getting paid that an hour. And we're talking about a month of work. And that's what you got. Get your family some bread. That's about it. Just survive.
One day wake up 4 years later, becoming a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
It is incredible. Can you imagine going from that level of poverty to that level of money?
Your father was, I think, 6'2", your mother, I think, 5'11". How tall are you?
I'm only 7'2".
Only 7'2"? How do you end up so tall?
I think a lot got to do. I don't know, the height mix of my parents, or maybe I just have a good gene. But we all tall in my family, but some people are short, 6'9", 6'8". Or 6'5".
Due to your height, I understand you eventually wanted to avoid going to the market when you were growing up. Why?
Not a big market, the central market is still down, close to downtown. Because people used to think I was a ghost.
A ghost?
Yeah, people used to think I was like what they used to call me. They used to call me Kinshasa. Kinshasa, it used to be like a myth, story. That people say that, do you see like in America, people tell the story about the Bigfoot?
Oh, yeah. The
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Somebody was working in the bushes somewhere. And here, But when I was growing up, people used to tell that, yes, somebody heard that they saw Kinshasa last time, that there was this tall guy used to appear in the middle of nowhere, tall, like 8 foot tall, 9 foot tall, and always dressed in white. And somehow he used to attack people or killing people.
Oh, shoot.
So one day when the market people thought I was Kinshasa.
No.
They used to call me Kinshasa. Hey, Kinshasa, and then people just start jumping and running, leaving their goods on the table. And I was
running from you, legitimately running from you.
Yes, and it brought out tears on my eyes, and I decided I was never going to put my foot again in the Central Market. And I didn't go to the Central Market for a long time. I think maybe I didn't go until I left the country.
So while it's funny now, it wasn't so
Now
funny
today the
then.
same people who call me Kinshasa, they say, no, he's a savior.
Yeah.
Let's follow him. He's the one who's saving us.
what a
How well do you
turnaround.
recall the local newspaper that had you on the cover back then?
Oh yeah, they call me the giraffe of Kinshasa, the tallest man. I was bullied a lot when I was growing up
Is there anything that really
People-
sticks out from that time?
because people thought I was sick. There was something wrong with my body the way I was growing up. And today they are the same people who crap, beg money for me, and praise me, think I'm the son of God. I'm the second coming, something like that, whatever they call it. Some people now call me Moses.
Wow. Just imagine that, from being treated like a monster in public, people fearing you, to people celebrating you whenever you come around.
So, admittedly, I told friends and family I'm coming to, the Congo to sit down with you for this interview and spend a few days here, and I get the same look from everybody, which is like, "Are you crazy?"
You going to Congo?
Right,
Yeah.
because
Why?
their minds immediately, and I think understandably, go to the conflict. How fair do you think the perception is internationally of the Congo?
It's very bad. It's very sad. I thank you for asking that question. Those are the things that still bother me, I understand the concern because some of us have lived it. More than 5.3 million Congolese people have lost their life during civil war, which was happening mostly in the east of Congo. But coming to this beautiful capital city, very vibrant, with wonderful people here, lives have changed, Things have happened, we understand, but we cannot keep looking on the past without looking at the future. And we should come, we as a people of God, find a way, how can we help them now? Instead of saying that, okay, there was so much killing happening in your homeland, I will not come there, I will never come there.
Yeah.
Too many people was killed in Vietnam and Cambodia. Today people go back there. So we can look at the history, but we have to look at the present and the future. See how can we help these people. They are lovely people.
But it is still, there is still violence going on in the eastern part of the Congo?
No more. They still allow UN military presence around the country. But violence-wise, no more violence.
Good.
I can't remember last time there was a violence again in the Congo. I thanks the U.S. government, I thanks the European Union. We thanks South Africa and Tanzania for sending more special forces here in the Congo to protect people in the east, which have made so many bad guys to run away. So it's been very peaceful to know that not many women are not dying no more. The thing we have to deal, we are dealing with now in Congo is a post-conflict. We have so many street children who have lost their parents in the civil war. We have so many child soldiers, people who was forced to take arms at a younger age, and they have returned to their society where their society have rejected them. So what we as a people going to do about it? We have to come up with a solution and come up with a solution. How can we save some of those children and help some of those in need? It's very tough. I think it's a long process. It will take a while to see the impact, but I'm happy that I am part of the solution. I'm not the solution of those problems facing the Congolese society, but I'm contributing my part.
You mentioned the more than 5 million people that lost their lives.
Yes.
During
the 10 years of Civil War.
During the Civil War. As some have said, it's been the deadliest conflict since World War II.
More than what people have died in both wars, World War I and World War II combined.
My God.
How would you explain what the problem was?
Oh, the problem is very easy. I think it was a mistake made in the past when Congo opened its border to all of the refugees that came from civil war that was happening in Rwanda. And Congo thought maybe it was giving a land, a safe haven to some of the people.
Safe haven.
And when they opened their home, the floodgate of the people who carrying weapons and everything who came and start killing most of the women and children.
So the people that were responsible for the genocide in Rwanda
Yes,
came over here.
Oh,
then
no.
whatever they
Oh,
was
no.
fighting, they brought their fight here.
So they were supposed to be given like sanctuary to the victims, but the villains all came in across the border. That's so terrible.
Then the fight ended up carrying on to the entire country.
Had the
Shoot.
borders not been opened.
That's why the enhanced military presence helped them in that situation. I was wondering, why did it have to lead to that? Now I understand. What a terrible situation.
How do you think it would have ended up differently?
I think that they should have monitored the flood of refugees, and they couldn't monitor, and the UN didn't do nothing. International community didn't do nothing. I think that's where we are, and that are some of us, that are my children today, didn't get a chance to see their grandmother.
It still upsets you a lot to this day.
Yes, because I know the people who are responsible.
Yeah.
As they know, I don't like to talk about it much.
Yeah.
You look at a nation like the Congo, which is the largest, country in sub-Saharan Africa. It's one of the richest in Africa because of the trillions in natural resources. You have gold, diamond, copper, cobalt, etc. Yet it's one of the poorest nations in the world. How do you think you change that?
Until we...
Did he say cobalt? Sorry.
Etc. Yet it's one of the richest in Africa because of the trillions in natural resources. You have gold, diamond, copper, cobalt.
Good God. Gold, diamond, copper, and cobalt. Cobalt is so valuable now because all the electric vehicles, and not just that, because everything is rechargeable battery based. Even our cell phones, our remote controls, my mouse that I use here. So cobalt is huge these days. So they have all these natural mineable resources, and they're poor. This is a damn good point. I want to hear this answer.
Etc. Yet it's one of the poorest nations in the world. How do you think you change that?
Until we can switch the volume from the other side, let's stop looking at the West for helping us, our society will be becoming much better. Until we stop killing our women and raping our sister and mother and cousin and uncle, our society will be better.
Jesus.
If we cannot do that, we will continue to live miserable for a long time.
Man. If y'all aren't appreciating where you live right now, damn.
I was playing against Hakeem.
Hakeem was different. You know, Hakeem was just one of the most respectable guys.
And
No matter what, you knew he was going to give you 30 or 40 that night.
And wasn't he partly why you became an NBA player?
Yes.
Your early inspiration?
Knowing that there was another African guy who was not 7 foot, but like 6'10", 6'11", was dominating the game the way Dream was doing. It was hard for me in a younger age as I was playing this game to know that why I cannot become like him, why I cannot follow his journey, because he came from Africa too. Those are the things. He went to college too. Those are the questions that was going on inside of me. You know that this would be a great role model for me to follow.
When you were with the Houston Rockets, how was mentoring Yao Ming?
No, yeah.
I think I did okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I loved that. Actually, the relationship between him and Yao was, I mean, it was beautiful and hilarious at the same time.
You know, Yao is a great man, a great friend, a great comrade. I love the guy so much, you know. He was my youngest brother, even though he's too much taller than me. But I have so much fun playing basketball with him, going to the movie, talking about life. And,
Okay, I just got to say it. When a man from Africa and a man from China can call each other brothers, that's a beautiful thing. That makes me smile so much.
Trying to pass some of my lessons that I learned from my culture to him, and him passing some of his cultural lesson to me.
Is there anything he's passed along to you that really sticks out?
I think it's work ethics. I've been around people in my life, but nobody cannot tell me their work ethic in life to be disciplined as Yao was when it comes playing the game of basketball. How can he grow up to becoming a great, successful basketball player? This case was in practice 3 to 4 hours before everybody
Really?
get there.
I never knew that about Yao. I didn't know he was that guy who showed up before everybody.
And then stay again after practice. And come every time there was a day off. And going to sleep when they say we're supposed to be sleeping. It was different.
Well, and he said we traveled to China to tape an episode of In Depth with him, and he said you really taught him a lot about philanthropy. In what ways?
You know, I come from this culture a little bit different from where I grew up, from my background to Africa. And I say, you come from a one-child policy society, but that no mean you cannot do for other people who have also have one child to try to help them also succeed. And he took that lesson very serious, and he went back to his country, made it different to his people.
Yeah, he has been.
End up embracing them, making sure that they understand that he's young man who he is today because of the support and the fame that he come from all of those people who continue to love him. Otherwise, you can walk on the street where nobody clap for you. So I made the men understand that concept, because so many athletes, as I'm doing this interview today, until today, they still don't understand why we are who we are. You know, if it was not because of those people who watching our game, loving our game, buying the merchandise, carrying our name, our jersey number, or turning the TV when we are playing, I would have not become Dikembe Mutombo. And nobody would have write about me either. So I feel as an athlete, we have some obligation and some duty to our society.
Wow. And go figure, shortly after that, we did see Yao Ming start giving back to his people. Let me just check in. All right, guys, a couple more. But I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys are still along for the ride. This is the best way I can figure to just give Dikembe like full representation, you know, like because this is a great interview and it's covering everything from basketball to his childhood to, you know, what motivated him to give back to his people and all that. Like I think this is a fair one. I hope I'm doing him justice here. I still can't believe he's gone. It seems like just yesterday we were laughing at the mean tweets, you know, where they said we don't have to worry about the voice of the Cookie Monster because if we need a new Cookie Monster voice, like we have Dikembe or whatever, and he's just laughing. Oh man, seems like just yesterday. I can't believe it.
I want to talk about some of the notable moments from your NBA career. The first of which being the '94 All-Star game, your rookie year. You're obviously you're an All-Star.
As a rookie.
What do you recall from that game?
Hey, shout out. Who here has some Dikembe Mutombo rookie cards? I sure do. I sure do. Man.
I'm the first rookie ever make the All-Star team in the NBA history. That was one of the most credible things to accomplish. You know, when I came in the league, I was a rookie of the month almost 3 months straight. Just dominate the game right away.
Yeah, he did.
And one player of the week almost every. It was just amazing because I have goal. I knew from day one I want to becoming somebody. I knew that I don't want to play the game just for 5 years. I want to play for a long time, and I want to break some records. I want to pursue some of the records that was broken before me. You know, if you can do that, you have a chance to be one of the greatest basketball players, and I did that.
The 2001 NBA Finals, your 76ers versus Shaquille O'Neal's Lakers. You said that's one of the best battles you've ever had. Why?
Because Shaquille O'Neal is one of the best NBA players to play this game, one of the big and the most dominant center because of his skill and his strength. And he did so much for this game. And going in the final against him, I knew that I have my hands full. That I have to bring whatever I have as the best defender player to try to stop him. I felt that our chance was there, but I think that we came out short because we beat them in game one.
They sure did. But man, prime Shaq, I mean, you saw that picture. He's just such a giant monster, man. Even the, like, you know, Dikembe being possibly the greatest defensive center. What the hell are you going to do against that giant guy? You can't stop him.
You mentioned, though, growing up, you know, you weren't looking to be a professional basketball player. How much did you love soccer and martial arts?
Martial arts?
A lot. As we walk around the city, you see there's always soccer. You're going by the hotel, you see a huge soccer stadium. So soccer is like the proud sport for the nation. But every kid plays soccer here. Basketball, you have to go far away to find a place or a court to play basketball. We are not like in China. In America, you walk around the neighborhood, there's a basketball court here, there's a basketball court there. I wish one day those opportunities will be given to the place like the Kinshasa where basketball courts can be found a lot of places.
Well, interestingly, you do say you had to go far to play basketball. You were the 7th of 10 children. And I think you've said before, basically all your siblings, older and younger than you, practically played for a national team.
Yes.
Why did you never play basketball until your last year of high school?
I didn't like it.
Why not?
I think when I was younger, I thought maybe the sport was boring. It was no fun. There was only 5 people in playing. When soccer, you guys can be 12 or 15 and going left and right and kicking the ball in a huge open field and you're having fun. It took a while for my brother to convince my family if it would be good for me to try basketball. And the first time it was not good.
Well, I understand the first time it really wasn't good and it was quite painful.
I still have the
what happened.
mark. You can see the
Oh, you do?
on my chin.
What happened?
They were trying to teach me how to jump.
Uh-huh.
I think I was a little bit lazy. They were trying to teach me how to jump so I can learn how to rebound. And I just tripped.
Oh, man.
You tripped and you fell on your chin?
Yes, I couldn't hold myself. I was coming down and just land flat and
Damn.
bust my chin up and I have to get like 20-some stitches.
That's funny because that's the first thought we have in the States when somebody's, I don't want to say like freakishly tall, when you see a kid and, the kid's like 13 years old and 6'5". It's like, okay, put a basketball in that kid's hand. It's like our very first thought. Do you play basketball? It's like the first question that they hear. Yeah, in Congo, that was like, no, we don't play basketball here. Oh, man, they're catching up out there, aren't they? To think to go from a certain point, back in the 90s where basketball was like this thing nobody really talked about out there. Now they're actually getting really good. They're getting good at the sport.
Was that, in your mind at the time, the end of your basketball career?
Oh yeah, I did stop it for a while. My mom used to be my guardian. She used to protect me all the time. And he tried to convince my dad and my brother that I should not be part of that no more. But they really didn't work.
Imagine if that would be it. He tried to jump, he fell down, busted his chin, and he never played basketball again.
How much did you read growing up?
I read a lot. Some of us who grew up close to downtown, when there was no electricity at home, we would walk 2 blocks away, 3 blocks away, near to the store downtown or shopping center, and sit on the floor and do our homework on the hallway and go home. Like around
Just
midnight.
so you can have light.
So we was lucky. Sometimes you go a month, there's no electricity in your neighborhood, but you can go all the way through. Every evening, you just put your book back on the back, you walk 3 blocks away and you do your homework at the light and you come home.
Well, and it paid off too, because in the high school entrance exam test that you took, you were tops in your city. When you got to high school, after classes regularly, you would go to the American Embassy.
American Embassy.
Why would you go?
Because I always dreamed about going to America since I was in 3rd grade.
What about America made you
Because
dream
I was
about it?
tall.
Because you were tall?
Yes. And many people were thinking the way I was tall and I was growing up, I was different, that I was not from Congo. I must be from America. That was all the tall basketball players. And I think a lot got to do with TV. Wherever people saw on TV, see all those tall people dunking, they said, so you must be from there. And people start calling me an American. Hey, you're an American child. So I felt like I was one of them. I said, okay, maybe the dream would be to go to America one day. Then I started thinking about what it would take to go there.
Well, and you end up going, go to Georgetown where you eventually graduate, but while you're there, you intern. One summer you interned for the World Bank, another summer you interned for Congress. How'd you go
Congress.
about picking those?
Mutombo, the banker, and the congressman. Let's do it.
You know, Georgetown is a wonderful institution, you know, that give you all the tools, all the necessary for you to succeed. And going to school like in a capital city like Washington, D.C., great metropolitan, all the government institution was there. And for you to get a chance and opportunity really to enter some of those institutions was a little bit higher because of the school where I was going. So being African and applied myself for the internship at the World Bank, it worked very well. Applied at Capitol Hill. My coach knew Congressman, our late Congressman, Robert Mathieu, who passed away, was no longer with us from Sacramento. So I was chance to go work for him. And it was a great experience.
You speak 9 languages, including 5 African dialects. What do you speak?
I speak English, French, Portuguese, and a little bit of Spanish. And I'm trying to, here in the Congo, when you're growing up, if you go outside, you ask every child, they will tell you that they speak at least 3 or 5 languages. Because it's easy to speak your mother tongue, your father tongue, and maybe your neighbor tongue. Because every time you go across the street playing with the neighbor's kids, they're talking another language, and you pick up that language too from your childhood. They just carry on to your brain. It's very easy here in the Congo.
When you learned English, I believe your first 2 years at Georgetown, some during a period of which you were studying English, I believe, like 5 to 7 hours a day.
Yeah, from 9 to 3 p.m.
Wow.
What did that entail?
It paid off, by the way, because he articulates himself incredibly well.
I always tell kids mostly about my life. Sometimes I think I didn't go to school. I went to a military academy. I went to a boot camp because life was never easy for me. And the challenge that I went through to succeed come from the hard work that I paid for. It was never easy. Because from Georgetown days, they made me understand that if I have to keep my scholarship, I have to maintain a good credit and a good 12 credit a semester for me to succeed. Otherwise, I was going to find myself on a plane going back to Congo.
Wow. Yeah. Man, the way he puts it like that at the end. Either be a good citizen or you're going to be shipped back to Congo. So of course he was. Yeah.
How many people around here would you say have regular access to electricity and running water?
People walk about 5 kilometers to go get water.
5 kilometers.
Every day, and 5 kilometers back. So don't drop your tears, just try to hold it up. It's life in Africa, you know. Not many places in the Congo or in the continent in general, people still have access to water.
What about shoes?
Shoes, they're okay. They might have the same pair of shoes they wear for the past 10 years or 15 years. Or I can tell you a story about shoes for myself.
Really?
You know, I didn't have no shoes growing up.
Damn.
Well, that's because people don't make shoes in size 20s.
No,
When he was a
after
kid.
my feet grew past 12, I couldn't find the shoes in capital city.
What would you do?
Buy tennis shoes and cut the front, and then so my toes can stretch.
Really?
I didn't
Yes,
have trouble finding shoes until I hit size 14. Ever since then, it's been a pain in the butt for shoes. Not like Dikembe, not like that situation. I could find them, but yeah. So he had trouble after size 12. Yeah.
Just wear my brother's shoes that was wearing like 13 and stick my feet in it and walk as bad as I can.
When did you finally get shoes that fit you?
Maybe 3-4 years.
Really?
I didn't get really good shoes that not hurting much until I got to 11th grade. Then I ended up traveling to Europe when I was, before I went to 12th grade that summer. That's where I got there. Somehow if you don't have a loved one overseas or someone you know, you're done.
Explain why the bellies of so many kids that you see are, really pushed out. Yeah.
Here, where I come from, people eat once a day. Once a day. Either you eat at nighttime or you don't eat at all. Mm-hmm. Some people, if they have 6 kids, 3 eat today and 3 eat tomorrow, and the other 3 you have to just search themselves for. It's very difficult.
How dire is the poverty, in your opinion, here?
We have seen a lot of improvement in child mortality, that there's been a lot of effort made by the international community. UNICEF has done a great job, the World Health Organization. The mortality rate now is almost 1 of 10 children born every day in the capital city don't make age of 5. But when you leave the capital city, it gets worse because the hospital are like 5 or 10 hours away. And some of them may get a day to get to the hospital. And you go to a suburb of the capital city, the numbers start going up. And only thing we have to fight on right now is the mortality rate on premature baby. I think there's like 1 of the 7 don't make the 28 days. So when you multiply that, you're looking at a 3-month or 6-month, the number's a little bit high.
How severe is the HIV/AIDS problem?
HIV/AIDS is lucky. Congo was served. Congo was blessed. My father was having a conversation with somebody the other day. The pandemic is not that bad. In the capital city is like 6%. But compared to countries like Botswana and South Africa or some of the eastern countries, you look at Kenya and all Uganda, where HIV/AIDS was in the 30% of population. And one of the reasons about Congo, HIV/AIDS didn't spread because Congo is a country full of forests and people live in a pocket. And the movement of people is not happening so fast because people really don't have that money to move. So we've been lucky, and that's why you see so many high cases of HIV/AIDS in the capital city. But that don't mean we cannot keep educating people about the social transmitted diseases like HIV/AIDS, which have destroyed the fabric of our society.
Shoot.
What can you tell about what the main hospital in the Congo was like prior to the one that you built?
Oh boy.
The best question, you just have to go see it. They're still existing.
How would you
You should
describe
take
it?
him there.
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
Yes, until today.
Why?
Lack of medical care, medical equipment, bad technology, not enough human capacity.
Yeah.
And it's my understanding patients would commonly have to bring their own food, would have to occasionally bring their own bed. They'd have to go out, get their own medicine.
That is still happening.
And sometimes, like...
We might be the only hospital still providing medicine.
Providing medicine. Oh my God. So a hospital like that is like, it's just a facility, but without any services. You got to bring in your mattress. You got to bring in your own medication, your own food. What's going on at that hospital then?
And why do you think that is?
Got to be funding, right?
I think a lot because there's a lack of trust between the institution and the population.
What do you mean?
The government didn't want to becoming like a giving, and the private institution didn't want to becoming also the giving, and so it becoming like a common practice for everyone.
What do you recall from seeing a Congo maternity ward for the first time?
It was sad to know that there was maybe 5 to 6 baby was kept inside the incubator, sometimes 7.
In an incubator meant for one?
Meant for one. Women who just have normal baby, no premature, sometimes they have 4 women in each bed, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and someone sleeps just on the concrete with their babies, and 2 of them on the top with their babies in the same bed.
Talk about when you once went to the maternity ward and saw 10 mothers who were almost being held against their will.
Yes, at the university hospital, it's still being practiced until today. That when you deliver a baby and you cannot pay the bill, they will not let you go. You can be outside walking around, but the baby will never leave the room. If it have to be 3, 4, 5 months, the baby will always be there.
Until they pay their medical bills?
They pay the medical bills.
Wow.
And in 2004, I went to the university hospital for a visit, and there was more than 20 women inside the room with their babies. They've been there for a couple of weeks or more than a couple of months. And one of them, the bill was like almost $800 some, $835. And the lady come to me and say, I don't have the $835 to pay the university, but if you can help me, I have this wonderful child, I just want to go home. My husband is not working, I have not worked in 2 years. I was like, why not? This is a precious child. Why not do something? And I decided to pay the bill for all the 20 ladies that was there. And so the hospital can let them go. And when they did, and today as you and I talking, I see the same child I saved 10 years ago coming to my hospital back again in my life, asking me to serve her again because of the hearing loss. That tell you how life can be. Mm-hmm. And we all are made here to help each other to make the world a better place for a generation to come. And if we don't do it, this world will be destroyed. So I'm glad that I'm doing my part.
Well, and it has to be neat to be in a position to be able to do this and to give the $800 some, context, because that might not seem like a lot of money to people back in the States. But when you consider the average annual salary here is under $200 a year,
so it was $37, $35 before. Yeah. So which was taking like to $420. Now the salary is like, now it was $65. I think the government moved the lowest you can pay the person now is like $100
Okay.
A month.
Hey,
$100
can you
a
make-
month. A month. So that's their minimum wage. That's now, too. This wasn't back then. So even now, God, you gotta save all your money, not spend it. Don't eat for like a year to get your baby out of the hospital. Like that bill that he fronted. Man.
Imagine you having 3 kids at home
Right.
with a wife, and you have one just deliver the baby, and the other one costs $800, and you get paid $100. How you gonna get to? When are you gonna come with $800?
Yeah, how's it gonna happen?
Right, and to give another example of kind of the state of the system here, you visited another maternity ward once where the woman had just had triplets,
Yes.
and the hospital didn't have the equipment to adequately care for the triplets. Not to mention the parents were unable to
Until
afford
today.
the medical care, so they were just going to leave the babies to die essentially until
They
you
came
stepped
over
in.
here. They came and they asked for help. And today we are talking, the kids are doing very well, going to school. The father work at the hospital, the mom sells something in the market. All the kids are named after me. And I don't know why, what did I do? But it mean a lot to me, it mean a lot.
How do you change the perception here that going to the hospital doesn't mean you're going to die, but it can actually mean you're going to get better?
It took a while. It took a while in the Congolese society for the people to understand that you can go to the hospital for medical care, you're not going there just there to die. That was the philosophy that was developed in the Congolese society for a long time. And it's changing now. A lot of them are changing because this hospital since it was built, and I've been the big advocate about some of the problems that facing in the Congolese society.
What's it like for you to, help put a hearing aid on a kid or a 14 or 18-year-old who's never heard prior to that?
It's a brand new to me. It's a miracle. It's a wonderful experience. I never been in nothing like this.
I've been wondering what this is about the whole time. Starkey Hearing Foundation. Let's hear it.
I grew up in a neighborhood where I knew some friends were deaf, they couldn't speak. Some of them did have a difficulty of listening or couldn't. But coming now in the Congo 20-some plus years later, and giving the hearing aid to the same people you grew up with, and now the kids' mother, father, and grandparents, and then seeing people looking in here for the first time. It's hard for me to describe it, I think it goes to the definition why this hospital was built, about saving life, changing life, improving the community, and also providing people great access to education. This is really a great education for the population. Now mom and dad, you have a duty to take their child home. The child can hear them, but now they have to teach the child how to repeat what they're hearing. And it was amazing how I look myself as a professor, a teacher today, trying to teach the other mother how to teach her son how to speak. It was it's a good experience.
Starkey was at Dikembe's hospital during our visit, and over the course of 3 days, more than 1,500 people received the gift of hearing.
We're fitting this gentleman with a pair of hearing aids. from start to hearing found. So we're testing a couple different pairs and powers, and it sounds like he's hearing quite well now. So what we can do is give him a chance at life with these hearing aids, and give him a chance to no longer be isolated from the family or disconnected. And so this sort of brings the family unit back together, and they can be a part of the community again.
It's a congenital problem. She's been deaf since birth. So she's never heard anything before.
So this is the
First time she's hearing
anything ever.
Yeah. But the problem is she won't understand.
Okay.
She doesn't have any language skills.
I got it.
It's a communication that we all take for granted.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you ask her how she's feeling right now? What's she saying?
Elle dit, vous avez dit? Elle a dit qu'elle est contente. Elle est contente. She's happy. She's happy to what she's feeling.
Wow.
She's scared of you.
She told me he's saying father. Ba 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 ba. You say father.
Do you remember?
Good.
Shake her hand.
Half. Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
he's know my name. My name is Raphael.
He's
Raphael?
Yeah. That's the first time she's ever said his name. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Oh.
When you deliver the baby and you cannot pay the bill, they will not let you go. If you have to be 3, 4,
Oh,
5
last one
months,
is a
they
short.
will always be there. In 2004, there was more than 20 women inside the room with their babies. They've been there for a couple of weeks or more than a couple of months. 5 to 6 baby was kept inside the incubator.
In an incubator meant for one.
One of them, the bill was like almost $800 some. And the lady come to me and say, I don't have the $835 to pay. I have this wonderful child, I just want to go home. And I decided to pay the bill for all the 20 ladies that was there. And so the hospital can let them go. We all are made here to help each other to make the world a better place for a generation to come. And if we don't do it, this world will be destroyed.
That was a good short to end it with. That was a good pick out of that whole interview. Wow. I learned so much about this man. And for all of those who made it to the end, yeah, thanks for coming on this journey with me. It still hasn't quite hit, right? Because I literally it was thanks to the comments on, I think it was today's video that you guys informed me that Dikembe had passed away, and then I searched it up, and then I wasn't gonna do a video, but I immediately changed my mind, and I wasn't gonna do a video because I didn't think I can do him justice. But you know what? I watched his whole career. I was a big fan of his since the moment he got drafted. And the very first words I ever heard him say on draft night with his team hat on was, "I loved his game," and I was like, "Who is this guy?" You know. So immediately, when me and my brother were buying basketball cards, I was collecting Mutombos, you know, his lottery draft cards, and I watched his whole career. I'm always a big fan. I remember that big upset in the first round of the playoffs where he's holding the ball up in the air, so proud because it was like the greatest upset. Yeah, and all the way to the end where he was like mentoring Yao. Like, what a guy. And then that's just basketball. So I'm glad I got to learn about all the stuff that he was a part of outside of basketball, because it looks like those were really his greatest accomplishments, what he's given back to the people of Congo. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. Comment some hearts down below. And rest in peace, Mr. Mutombo. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for the great basketball. And thank you for what you did for humans. You did a lot of good for a lot of humans. And there are people out there who have you to thank for them to even be alive. Job well done, sir. Job done. Peace out, everybody.